Hello dear learners, today we are going to start second lesson from book Moments of 9th class, The Adventures of Tutu, written by Ruskin Bond. He was born in Kasauli, Himachal Pradesh on 19th May 1934. He grew up in Shimla, Jamnagar, Dehradun and Mussoorie. He studied at a boarding school in Dehradun. Even though he was an average student in terms of academics, he went to England for further education. There he completed and published his first novel. Ruskin Bond has made a special place for himself as an author and novelist in English literature. He has written over 500 short stories and articles that have appeared in number of magazines. The story, The Adventures of Tutu, based on the experiences of people who keep animals as pets, and the theme thus deals with the outcome of the interaction between humans and animals. It shows that not all animals can adapt themselves to human way of life. It requires a great deal of patience and skill to train animals to acquire non-destructive behavior. Let's start with the reading of the lesson. Have you ever had a baby monkey as a pet? Tutu is a baby monkey. Let's find out whether he is mischievous or docile. Mischievous means intended to cause harm or trouble, or docile means easily managed or handled. Grandfather bought Tutu from a Tonga driver. Author says that his grandfather bought Tutu, a baby monkey, from a Tonga driver for 5 rupees. The Tonga driver used to keep the little red monkey tied to a feeding trough, and the monkey looked so out of place there that grandfather decided he would add the little fellow here referred to the baby monkey, to his private zoo. Tonga driver used to keep this little red monkey tied up to the trough, that is a container for feeding animals. Grandfather felt that he looked out of place there, so he bought him and decided to keep him in his private zoo. Tutu was a pretty monkey. His bright eyes sparkled with mischief beneath deep-set eyebrows, and his teeth, which were a pearly white, were very often displayed in a smile that frightened the life out of elderly Anglo-Indian ladies. Tutu was a pretty monkey in the sense that his appearance was very cute. His bright, shiny eyes, sparkled means shone, deep-set eyebrows, and pearly white teeth gave him a very pretty look. Tutu used his bright eyes to display a mischief all the time. He used his pearly white teeth to smile in such a way that would scare elderly Anglo-Indian ladies. But his hands looked dried up, very thin, dried up, as though had been kept in the sun, pickled in the sun for many years. Yet his fingers were quick and wicked. His fingers were quick and he used them to pick up things wickedly. And his tail, while adding to his good looks, grandfather believed a tail would add to anyone's good looks, also served as a third hand. He could use it to hang from a branch, and it was capable of scooping up an delicacy that might be out of reach of his hands. Tutu used his tail as his third hand. He used it to hang from one branch to the other, or to pull or pick any cooked food which was tasty. Delicacy means rare or expensive food item, but that was at a distance or out of reach of his hands. Grandmother always first. First means to give too much attention to small matters or make much ado about nothing. When grandfather brought home some new bird or animals, means she was complaining a lot about animals in the house whenever grandfather brought any new bird or animal home. So it was decided that Tutu's presence should be kept a secret from her until she was in a particularly good mood. So it would be disclosed later on when they found her in a good mood. Grandfather and I put him away in a little closet opening into my bedroom wall, where he was tied securely, or so we thought, to a peg fastened into the wall. So author and his grandfather kept Tutu in a little cabinet. In the author's bedroom, they tied him very safely, securely, to a peg fastened onto the wall. He was kept secretly here because the reason is clear, because grandmother created fuss whenever new pet was brought into house. A few hours later, when grandfather and I came back to release Tutu, we found that the walls, which had been covered with some ornamental paper chosen by grandfather, now stood out as naked brick and plaster. So after some times, a few hours after some time, when they came looking for Tutu in order to set him free, they saw that Tutu had torn off the ornamental paper that covered the wall of the narrator's room, and wall was looking naked and showing only brick and plaster. The peg in the wall had been wrenched means pulled out from its socket. Socket means a natural or artificial hollow into which something fits. And my school blazer, author's school blazer, which had been hanging there, was in shreds, was torn into pieces. The peg in the wall had been wrenched out from its socket, and he also tore the author's school blazer, which he used to hang there, had been torn into pieces. However, I wondered what grandmother would say. But grandfather did not worry. He seemed pleased with Tutu's performance. However, grandfather did not get upset after getting all this observed. On the contrary, he was happy to see Tutu's performance. He's clever, said grandfather. Even grandfather remarked that he's a clever monkey. Given time, I'm sure he could have tied the torn pieces of your blazer into a rope and made his escape from the window. He was not at all angry with him for the damage he had done. He even commented jokingly that if he was given more time, he would have tied the torn pieces of the author's blazer into a rope and would have escaped from the window. His presence in the house still a secret. Tutu was now transferred to a big cage in the servants' quarter, where a number of grandfather's pets lived very sociably together. Sociably means amiably, enjoying being with other people. A tortoise, a pair of rabbits, a tame squirrel, and for a while my pet goat. But the monkey wouldn't allow any of his companions to sleep at night. So grandfather, who had to leave Dehradun next day to collect his pension in Saharanpur, decided to take him along. So his presence was still a secret. It was therefore decided to put Tutu in a big cage in the servants' quarters. Grandfather used to keep other pet animals. He had a tortoise, a pair of rabbits, a squirrel, and a pet goat. They all lived together very peacefully. But Tutu was very mischievous. He would not let other animals sleep at night. The next day, grandfather had to leave Dehradun to collect his pension in Saharanpur. So he decided to take Tutu along. Otherwise, he would be a big disturbance to the family members as well as to the other animals in his private zoo. Unfortunately, I could not accompany grandfather on that trip, but he told me about it afterwards. On that trip, the author could not accompany grandfather. So he was told the story of what happened later. A big black canvas kit bag was provided for Tutu. Grandfather took a big canvas bag, kept some straw at the bottom, and made a cozy home for Tutu. With some straw at the bottom became his new abode. Abode means place of living, home. When the bag was closed, there was no escape, means there was no chance to get away from it. Tutu could not get his hands through the opening, and the canvas was too strong for him to bite his way through. Means canvas was considered a very strong fabric. That's why it was decided to be taken for Tutu, because it was too strong for him to bite his way through. His efforts to get out only had the effect of making the bag roll about on the floor or occasionally jump into the air. An exhibition that attracted a curious crowd. Curious means keen to know. Crowd of onlookers. Onlookers means people watching something on the Dehradun railway platform. Tutu could not have found any way out to escape. The only thing that happened was that when Tutu struggled to get out of the bag rolled on the floor and sometimes even jumped into the air. Now this has become a scene of amusement for the onlooker or for all on the Dehradun railway station. Tutu remained in the bag as far as Saharanpur, but while grandfather was producing his ticket at a railway turnstile, Tutu suddenly poked his head out of the bag and gave the ticket collector a wide grin. Fortunately, Tutu stayed in the bag till Saharanpur, but grandfather, when he stood at the ticket turnstile means a mechanical gate where the checking of tickets was done. Tutu suddenly poked means took out his head out of the bag and gave the ticket collector a wide grin, broad smile. Grin means smile. The poor man was taken aback, but with great presence of mind and much to grandfather's annoyance, he said, "Sir, you have a dog with you. You will have to pay for it accordingly." Ticket collector was very much shocked to see the wide grin of the monkey. Then, using his presence of mind, he asked grandfather if he had a dog with him. Grandfather was a bit annoyed at hearing this. "Sir, you have a dog with you. You will have to pay for it accordingly." In vain did grandfather take Tutu out of the bag. In vain did he try to prove that a monkey did not qualify as a dog or even as a quadruped. Tutu was classified a dog by the ticket collector, and 3 rupees was a sum handed over as his fare. Grandfather tried to prove to him that a monkey could not be called a dog. He pulled out Tutu from the bag to prove that a monkey in no way was similar to a dog or even as a quadruped means four-legged animal. The ticket collector kept on classifying him as a dog and charged grandfather 3 rupees. Then grandfather, just to get his own back, took from his pocket our pet tortoise and said, "What must I pay for this since you charge all animals?" Grandfather, who was very angry, pulled out the pet tortoise from his pocket and asked what he should pay for it since he was supposed to charge for all animals. The ticket collector looked closely at the tortoise, prodded means felt with his hands, it with the 4 fingers, gave grandfather a pleased and triumphant means victorious look, said, "No charge, it's not a dog." The ticket collector examined the tortoise very closely, felt it with his 4 fingers and gave grandfather a triumphant look and said, "No charge, it's not a dog." Here the lesson is explained up to page number 8. Rest of the explanation to page number 9 and 10 you will get in the next video. Thank you.